to class, my amazing students. I'm pleased to teach you online. In this lesson, I will be teaching you figures of speech and sounds. This expression, "the cat is out of the bag," is not a strange one. Neither is "don't cry over spilt milk." You may have heard people use expressions like this, or even used them yourself. They are called figurative language or figurative expressions. A figurative language appeals to the senses. It adds color to expressions and also make them very clear. For the purpose of this lesson, I will define figure of speech as the deviation of words from their literal meanings. Here, words are used connotatively rather than denotatively. The first figure of speech to be considered here is simile. Simile means to compare two different things using as or like. The two different things being compared must have a point of similarity. Grandpa, a human; tortoise, an animal, yet they have a point of similarity, which is slowness. The flower is as white as snow. What is the similarity between the flower and the snow that belong to different levels? Metaphor. Metaphor is the figure of speech that compares two different things without using as or like. Metaphor says one thing is another. "You are the apple of my eye" is a good example of metaphor. Another example is "it's raining cats and dogs." Does it mean that the speaker means that cats and dogs or animals are falling down the sky? No. It means that it is raining heavily. Jimmy has a heart of gold. Is the heart of Jimmy made of gold? What does this really mean? Hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech that we often use because we like to exaggerate. It is that figure of speech where expressions are overstretched. It blows things out of proportion. It exaggerates. It expands. An example is "her smile was a mile wide." How wide is the mouth? She cried so long that she made a lake. This is not realistic. The expression is only being exaggerated. "The whole world was staring at me" is another way of saying that a lot of people were staring at me. You could have knocked me over with a feather. The feather is very light. For the speaker to say this, it means he was either sick or very tired, to be knocked over with a feather. Euphemism uses polite, pleasant, or mild expressions in place of words that sound rude, disrespectful, unpleasant, shocking, or rude. An example is, my goldfish passed away is euphemism for my goldfish died. You don't refer to the blind as blind. You refer to them euphemistically as visually impaired. Senior citizen for old people. Some old people take offense when you refer to them as old. Correctional facility for prison. Ladies for restroom. Oxymoron is that figure of speech where two contradictory terms or opposite terms are placed side by side. Plastic glasses, escaped prisoner, deliberate mistake are contradictory terms. Sentence examples. The room was suddenly filled with deafening silence. Their love story was painfully beautiful. This painting is pretty ugly. He clearly misunderstood my point of argument. The contradictory terms are written in red ink. More examples of oxymoron. Use them to construct beautiful sentences. Antithesis refers to the placing of opposing ideas in a sentence. The difference between antithesis and oxymoron is this. Oxymoron operates in word level, while antithesis operates in sentence level. Examples of antithesis. To hate is human, to forgive divine. Many are called, but few are chosen. Metonymy means to refer to something by referring to something else that is closely associated with that thing. We will swear loyalty to the crown. Who wears the crown? The king. So we will swear loyalty to the king. Alright, let's consider more examples of metonymy. After leading the rebellion, he seized the throne. The throne is metonymy for kingship or power or authority. He drank 6 bottles at the party. It wasn't the bottles that he drank, but the content of the bottles. The kettle is boiling. It is not the kettle that is boiling, but the water in the kettle. Paradox is a figure of speech that appears to be senseless or illogical, but on close examination, you see the sense in it. You must learn to swim before you get into water. How does one learn to swim without getting into water? What is actually being said here is that you must have mastered the art of swimming to go close, before going close to water, to avoid being drowned. Synecdoche means using a part of something to to refer to the whole of that thing. Do you like my new wheels? Wheels for car. Alright, you use the part of a thing to refer to the whole. I have 4 mouths to feed a home, meaning I have 4 persons or 4 people to feed. Personification means giving human qualities or attributes to inanimate objects. Inanimate objects are lifeless objects. The wind whistled throughout the night. That alarm clock screamed at him to wake up in the morning. Do alarm clocks scream? Alright, now let's go to figures of sound. At this level, you should be able to tell figures of speech from figures of sounds. The first figure of sound is alliteration. It means the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of closely connected words. 7 sheep said silently. Busy, the bee behaved beautifully. I'm sure you know the sound alliterated. Assonance is the repetition of the same vowel sound in series of words in the line of a poem. You must have a mastery of vowel sound to know assonance. Next, we have consonance. Not many of you know that consonance is a figure of sound. It means the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning, middle, or end of words. Take a look at this example. Mike likes his new bike. K is repeated at the middle of these words, at the middle please. Onomatopoeia. The way a word sounds suggests its meaning. The way a word sounds tells you its meaning. The lion roared. The car crashed. The way a lion roars is different from the sound you hear when a car crashes. Alright, let's consider more examples of onomatopoeia. They are right here. Alright, it is on this note that I bring the lesson to a close. Further discussion on this topic will be carried out in our physical class. Until I come your way again, goodbye for now.